All right, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful morning again. Welcome aboard, everyone, on the call. This is Coach Musa. Uh, we are going to continue from where we stopped yesterday. And yeah, so you'd permit me immediately go through my sharing of the screen and we see how we can move. Okay. So I hope you guys are good. And I hope you guys are practicing what you are learning from the call, from the different leaders. Remember, only practice makes perfect. So if you learn something and you don't practice, it would literally be a waste of time. So you need to endeavor, try as much as possible to at least try to implement whatever you learned from the call so that you perfect yourself, right? So do that so much and you'd be glad you did. But if you fail, then you would wish you had never learned at all. You will not get the best out of whatever thing you wanted to if you don't practice. So now I'm share my screen. Share my screen. Okay. Switch off this. Okay. All right. So yesterday we looked at the three different market structures. We talked about an uptrend market structure, okay, and we talked about a downtrend market structure, and then we talked about a ranging market structure, and we did explain how they are formed. And so the only thing we are going to look at today to build up on that is I want us to look at how we actually identify trade entry opportunities in the different market structures, how we go about it, how much to take as profit, and how to set margin calls based on the chart, not assumption. Okay. So when I talk about based on the chart, I would be simply meaning you make exact measurements on the different price reaction levels. So whatever percentage you get is what you set for the respective margin call drops. Okay. Right. For the different margin calls, you set those drops accordingly, depending on what you actually found out from your chart based analysis. So that is what we mean by establishing the margin call based on analysis. So, and also we're going to look at how we can determine our TP, take profits. So, and I want us to begin from a ranging market structure because that is the common one that most of us are so used to. Then we shall go to how we trade in a rising market and how we trade in a downtrend market. Now, how we trade, how we identify trade entry opportunity. Allow me to draw this. I'm going to give a scenario in a ranging market. So let's assume we have such kind of market structure. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Right. So let's assume that is the kind of market structure we came across. And our intention is to identify a trade entry opportunity. We want to determine whether it will be fit for us to make entry, and if at all it is, then how much take profit we're supposed to set, and how much to set as margin. How many margin calls we are supposed to establish, and at what percentage drops. Okay, depending on what we see. Now, when you're going to do this analysis, what I must remind you about is that you don't need to look at the entire chart. There are two things that you're supposed to put forth into consideration. Number one, choose for yourself a time frame in which you would like to make the analysis. So the first thing here is choosing a time frame. Time frame. It's the first step you're supposed to make. You're just not gonna make analysis in random time frames. You have to narrow your mind and get used to a specific time frame in which you do your analysis. You cannot go about analyzing in different time frames. That should be that which you would concentrate on always when you're making your analysis. It's going to be a higher time frame, and then you identify, and then you go and look out for earlier entry opportunities in a lower time frame. So if you're going to get used to analyzing in a 4 hours time frame, please make it your habit. And then maybe you look out for earlier entry opportunities, let's say in a 1 hour time frame. If you're going to be analyzing in a 1 hour time frame, you do so, and then you go and look at the market, the market in a lower time frame in like 15 minutes to see if at all there's an early entry opportunity that has presented itself. Okay, so you don't just go about choosing different time frames. So that is what we call looking out for ways of identifying a trading strategy for yourself that you will be basing on to do your analysis. So choose for yourself a time frame. Then the second thing you're going to do, demarcate the areas within which you're going to focus in your analysis. Okay, we can have the chart can really be very big or wide, and you cannot go about looking at the entire chart, right? There should be a specific area that you're going to concentrate in as analysis. Allow me first to move this for purposes of clearing the chart. Make our chart very clear and clean. Okay. All right. All right. So you can have a chart that looks like this, and then it may really make no sense to you if you just broadly look at a bigger chart and you don't know how to go about analyzing the market. So you have to demarcate an area within which you're going to make an analysis, right? Demarcate that area. Demarcate the area. Where's my drawing? Okay. Yeah, I am. So you demarcate your area. So for example, you can have this broader area, but then you may decide to just choose, let's say, okay, this is already a demarcated frame, but you can have a bigger picture of the chart, and then you just say, I'm going to concentrate around here. Okay, my analysis will be based on this area, not this entire area, and then going backward. No, just concentrate within an area, not so far away from the price at which that particular asset is trading at. Okay? Don't go so far away. Yeah? Should be around. Let it be around. Okay, where the market price is. That is the second thing. So, hey, that's the second thing. After selecting a time frame for yourself, you need to go ahead and demarcate your area of focus. All right. Then, when you're through, you're going to go to identify. You're going to identify and locate or mark the different price reaction levels, both above the current market price and below the market price. That is the third. So one is time frame. Two is demarcation. You're supposed to choose area of focus. Okay? And then three, you're gonna identify and so identification is more of location, and then you mark. You mark your price reaction levels. So as you do the identification or location and then marking the different price reaction level, you're going to base on the current market price so that you go above the market price and identify the price reaction level, and then also go below the market price, identify the price reaction levels. Okay. So after doing that, you're going to connect. Okay. After marking them, you connect those different price levels. So you're going to connect the price reaction. Just connect them. All right. Connect the different price reaction levels. Now, the areas, the price reaction level that you're going to connect together that are below the current market price are what is going to turn out to be called resistance. Resistance. Sorry, support. No, sorry, beg your pardon. They will be called support or line, depending on which one you want to go for. So it will be called a support line or a support area. And then all those areas that you're going to identify, mark and connect above the market price would be what we'll refer to as the resistance area or line. Is that very clear? We're going to do that practically, but is it very clear on the steps to follow? Is it very clear? If it is clear, say yes. If it is clear, say yes. If it is not clear, let me repeat. I want it to be something that is gonna be grasped from onset. All right. No, yes, no, yes. I'm gonna repeat steps you go about to identify. To do your analysis as you look out for those beautiful trade entry opportunities. I'm gonna go through them one more time. The first thing that I said was one, I said the first thing you're supposed to do is choose a time frame. A selection of time frame. That is the first step, which can be 4 hours. If you're used to that, me, I'm not. But if you're used to 4 hours time frame, good. You can go for 1 hour, which is my favorite. Okay. So you can choose 4 hours, 1 hour, 1 day, a week, depending on what you feel like. Okay. Then after choosing your time frame, on which you're going to do the analysis. Go ahead to demarcate, okay? You demarcate the area that you're going to focus on as you make that analysis. So that is area of focus. Area of focus. You can't analyze in the entire chart. That should be an area that you're going to focus on. And those areas should be the areas within which the market price of the coin is trading at. It should be an area within, just around the current market price of that asset you're trying to analyze. Okay? And then after demarcating your area of focus, you are going to go about identifying and marking the different price reaction level, the relative price reaction levels with reference to your current market price. Okay? So it will be identification, of price reaction levels. You'll forgive me for the handwritings, but I hope you're getting what I'm meaning. So you have to identify those price reaction levels with reference to the market price. So all the different price reaction levels should be in reference to the market price, okay, or the price at which that particular asset you're analyzing is trading at. Those areas are going to be above and then below. So you're going to be identifying them and then you mark them, okay? You mark them. You mark the different price reaction levels above the current market price and below the current market price. After marking them, the next step you're going to do is to connect all those price reaction levels that are above the price, the current price, and also you connect all those price reaction levels below the market price. All the points that have been connected below the market price, that is the price reaction levels, are what we are going to refer to as our support area. And then all those points that you're going to connect above the market price, all of them will be referred to as the resistance area or resistance line. Is that clear? Is that clear now? Is it clear now? Yeah, okay. Okay. But I just want to say, is it clear? Is it making sense? No problem. Let's move. So let's use this demonstration before we go to the chart. I want us to use this. Let's assume I love us using I'm a first call it first principle person. So we are going to assume this drawing here is capturing market price movement, right? And currently our market price is trading. Let's assume that is the current market price there, right? So we're going to take a time frame of, let me take a 1 hour time frame. So we have a 1 hour time frame. Hey, where's my thing? There we are. So we have a 1 hour time frame, and currently the market price of cake is 31. We are giving an example. It is not 31, but just example. We are taking this as our market, right? Yeah, the price movement. So we have our price at 31.5. So we have selected our time frame to be 1 hour. And 2, we have decided that we are going to concentrate our analysis within this area, an area not very far away from our current price. The third thing we are going to do after doing that, we are going to identify all price reaction levels that are above our market price, right? All price reaction level. When you talk about price reaction level above market price, we're looking at those market price peaks, or the areas, or those points where the price was in the verge of rising, then upon approaching it, it had to make a U-turn. It had to change direction. It had to reverse to the downside. So it was previously moving up. Upon approaching it, it had to make a U-turn and started moving to the downside. That peak, that inverted V peak, that edge, that sharp point becomes a price reaction level. So we are going to look out for all those inverted V points above our market price, which in this case, if we are to take this as an example, since our market price is here, the first price reaction level would definitely therefore be this one, an inverted V. So that peak becomes the first price reaction level, because from our observation, the price was on the verge of rising, but upon approaching this level, it had to make a U-turn. Now it is on the course of a downtrend movement. So it becomes a price reaction level. That is the first. Then the second price reaction level is we're going to make reference to the first price reaction level, which is this. Okay, this is our price reaction level, simply because it is slightly above this. So it also becomes a key price reaction level. Now, upon doing that, after doing that, we're going to do the same for all those price reaction levels that are below the current market price, which in this case, making market price here, we're going to come down and look at all those V-shaped edge. Is it edge or peak? It is not a peak. I don't know, a trough. Let me call it that way. So this lower part, okay, in which was demonstrating that the price was originally coming down, and upon approaching such levels, it had to make a U-turn. So that point of a U-turn becomes a price reaction level. So we're going to identify all those V-shaped areas, and then we mark that lower part. So in this case, the first one is reference to our market price, would definitely be that. And then the second one would definitely be that. So have we identified them? Yes. All those price reaction levels below the current price and the price reaction levels above the current price. So after doing that, we said the next thing we do is to connect them. Now, we're just going to do this. Pick our either horizontal line or a horizontal ray. We put it, we're going to begin by connecting those price reaction levels above the market price. So we're going to bring it there. We put it on the first marked point that way, and a line is going to be drawn that will run horizontally. Okay. Then the second one, we're going to pick a horizontal line, and we also put on that second one. Then we come and draw below. Pick this, we put it there. And then we pick another line, we put it. All right. So we have actually marked and connected or drawn a line touching this price reaction levels above market price. And we've also done the same for all the points that are below the market price. So all the lines we have drawn above, which are these two, are our resistance lines. And then all these two lines below the current price are our support line. So they are the price reaction levels, which we should expect that in the near future, for as long as the market price movement is on course, once it is approached, there's a likelihood that the price is going to react at them. And the reaction will be in two ways. Either they will reject the price from going up if at all the price was on a rise, or they will support the price from continuing to go down. So meaning they will stop the price from falling. Okay? So that is the reaction. That is the first reaction. They can support or reject. And the other reaction may be, it may react to it by breaking out, by breaking that area. It will break that barrier. So if it was in the course of an uptrend movement, upon approaching this price reaction level, it can decide to break through and go above it. If it was in the course of a downtrend movement, it can decide to break below that price reaction level and go and continue downward. All right. So that is simply what that means. All right. Now, at that point, up to that point, is it okay? Today I'm going to stop us at 8:30, so we need to be together. Is that okay? Uh-huh. All right. All right, thank you. So I think we are together. Uh-huh. Let's come back. So another thing that we have to do is this. If at all there is any area that we think or that we see that could be a price reaction level, but we have not yet captured, all right? But it is in between. It is in between this area, I mean these two lines and these two lines, you can as well go ahead and mark and connect it. If there is any price reaction level that we see may be falling within, because this is our area of concentration, right? We are analyzing based on this area, only within this area. So if at all in the course of these two areas, okay, the lines above the current price and the lines below the current price, if at all we see any point of price reaction in between, we also go ahead and connect them. They will help us in doing something, as we're going to see later on. So in this case, if you see here, this is another price reaction level, right? Yes, it is. And this is another price reaction level, right? So let's also do justice to it by drawing a line. So we can decide to draw that there, and then we also pick another line and draw it there. So we have literally captured all price reaction level within our area of focus, right? We have captured them, right? So this, let me just change this just for purposes of, right. So now with this captured, okay, when you want to identify trade entry opportunities, we are going now into identifying trade entry opportunities. We are looking at our current market price. You see where our current market price is? It is in between this line and this line, right? But in the look of things, the direction is pointing downwards, meaning the price is moving down, right? So the most likely possibility, the most likely place that it is going to encounter a barrier and then possibly react would be this one here, because it is on a downturn, right? It has surpassed this point. Now it is approaching this other price reaction level. So there's a likelihood that it is this price reaction level which is going to cause a blockage to this price continuing to go down. It's a 50-50. It may react to it by supporting, or it may react to it by just breaking below it and then moving towards this other line. So it is a 50-50, right? Now, if you want to trade, you can decide to base on the same time frame. You know, it's not a rule. You can decide to even base on the very same time frame. to make entry, or you can go to a lower time frame. But let's base on the same time frame to identify entry opportunities. Now, you can make entry in two ways. One, you can decide to enter at current price, or you can decide to set a trap. A trap meaning you can decide to enter a preset price. All right, you wait for the price to drop to the price level which you want to make entry at, and then that's when the robot can decide to execute the buy order. Or you can just decide to start your robot at the current price. Now, let's begin from a current price perspective. If you decide to enter at current price, right, you have your areas already drawn, your areas of price reaction, and you decide to enter at current price. This is what you're going to do. Number one, measure this distance, okay, from your current price to this first resistance line. Remember, we said the resistance is any line that is drawn above the market price, the current market price, or an area or line, okay, that has been established above the current market price. So this is our resistance. So you will measure the distance between your current price and resistance one. Whatever percentage you get there becomes your TP, your first take profit, right? Because remember, you don't want to trade blindly. You don't want to assume that the price is just going to rise from here all the way back to this point. No, it may disappoint. It may also be true, but you're not sure, right? So the best you could do is take off profit if you can, even for the slightest of movement, and then wait for what happens once it approaches this level. If it approaches this level and it breaks through, that is when you look out for, that is when again you prepare to make the second entry to take your second take profit, okay? So meaning in this case, if it breaks above, you'll make entry from whatever point there, if you decide to enter at current price, and take profit to this resistance too. In that manner, so you're trading in bits, but you are at least collecting something back, okay? That is the thing. So now in this case, we are now making entry at current price. So what you're going to do is this: measure this distance to this point. That is your TP. Then from current price to the first support here, that percentage you're going to get would be the margin call drop for your first call. And then the distance from here to here, the percentage you get will be the margin call drop for the second call. And then from this to this becomes this margin call drop for the third call. That is if you're doing it intentional, right? So let's try it. So we're going to do this. Pick this, measure from here. We're going to do that practically. So we assume that this is the TP, then this percentage from here to this point, that is the margin call drop for the first call. That is the first price reaction level. If at all the price reacts to, if this price level, I mean the price reacts to this price level, and immediately upon approaching it, it just touches on it and then it reverses. Don't you see you would have hit your take profit, the first take profit, without wasting time? Because you entered current price, the market price continues to dip, and upon approaching this level, this level supports it successfully, and then it reverses, all right? And it's a attempt to reverse. Of course, you know that there's a likelihood that it is going to retest this level that it broke previously. So in doing that, you'll be having your TP taken. You'll be having your TP taken earlier, even before approaching this level. Why? Because whenever the market price, whenever the robot buys, remember this was the entry price. If the market price, if the robot bought at this price level, remember it is going to establish an average price, okay? Maybe somewhere there in the middle. Now, if the robot buys for the second time around this price reaction level, a new average price is going to be created nearer or closer to where the robot bought. So meaning there's a likelihood of you getting out of this market, okay, earlier when the price is just around midway here, not as it was before, because of allowing the robot to buy at that price level. Okay, so it is, that is it. And so that is the first call drop. The second call drop will be from there, just in case the market price doesn't really reverse as intended. So you'll have that 5.28 as the next buy level. Okay, as the next level in which the robot will make a buy order, and that continues for the next as well. Okay, here you're doing it intentionally. You're not just blindly establishing your margin call drops. You see that? So you have 5.7, then you have 5.2. I mean 7.7. A total of about 12, yeah, roughly 13% drop. Now this is a higher time frame, remember? But at the same time, if you go to a lower time frame, you may find out that you could be having some other mini price reaction levels in between here and in between here, which you can as well locate and connect. Then it will allow you break down these percentages instead of just making it 7.2 and then 5.2, and maybe you have these 3 margin call drops. Margin call limit, you can decide to break them down. Maybe this one could even be around 3 price reaction level. Maybe this one can be 2. So you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even up to 6. So you can now break them down. But as you do that, you know the different percentage drops that you want to establish based on the price reaction levels. Okay? So that's the first scenario of making entry at current price. Is that okay? Is that okay for everyone? Is that okay for everyone? Mm. Yeah. Okay. Mm. Lastly, when you make entry at a preset, we don't want to enter at current price, but we want to enter at preset. We want to enter at preset. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm sharing with you is under a normal market condition. But then remember, at the end of the day, we have the market makers, the big boys, who sometimes can manipulate the market. And when they do, the analysis may seem like you did nothing, yet in actual sense, you would have done it. You'd have done the right thing. So sometimes when you do this, when you establish more margin calls, there is a way it helps. But most of the times, what happens is these market makers can manipulate the market in a way that sometimes, however much you do your analysis well, because you don't control the market, sometimes you get disturbed as to whether you did the analysis wrongly or you did it rightly. Let me tell you, as small as retail traders, we don't control the market. But the smart money do. The institutional investors, they do. They sometimes manipulate, they sometimes control the market. They manipulate the market. These big boys, they do. Because after all, at the end of it all, we ride, they establish a footprint upon which we ride, upon which we make profit, upon which we trade. It's the footprint established by the whales, the smart money, the institutional investors. Okay. Because they have the money, they can move the market. They move the market. And when they do, we get excited. We ride on their footprint. So this is a preparation when you move and advance through some of this training and technical analysis, you will appreciate that at a later stage that indeed sometimes your perspective on how you look at the market needs an advancement in a way. Yeah. But believe me, whatever this is, if you follow it correctly, it can guide, it can help. Okay. It's just at least laying some foundation, laying some basics, some fundamentals that will not keep you the same, at least. So let's go to the second scenario and then we try to do that on the chart and see how it comes out. So the second scenario is we want to make entry at a preset. Now, at a preset means you are actually waiting for the market price to drop down to a particular price level which you would want to make entry at, or a price level which you would wish the robot to make a buy order at. Okay, so in this case, we are assuming that this is the current price and it is approaching our support one. So our support one becomes the preset price level. So we are going to identify at what price does this support line touch it in the price lane. Whatever price that is becomes our entry price. So it becomes our preset. It is what we're going to set as our preset. Okay. I hope that is okay. It is what we're going to set as our preset. So in this case, if you're going to use the preset, this becomes our entry. And then that distance from there to here becomes the margin call drops. Margin call drops. So that distance is what we establish as our margin call drops for the different price reaction levels. Okay. And as I said, you can go ahead to a lowest time frame and identify those other mini price reaction levels within this major price reaction level higher time frame. And then just be specific, measure those specific distance, okay? And see how many they are. And then the number of times they are is the number of times you're gonna put there as your margin call limit. And then you set the different percentages at the different price. I mean, at the different call. I mean, you set the drops, the percentage drop at the different margin calls, okay? Limit. So that is what you do, okay? All right. So let's go to let's go and do something practically. Yeah. Let's do something practically there and we see how it would fail. Yeah. So let's do that. And I see what I do. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Okay. Hey, ah, what's going here? Okay. 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 So let's see. Let's base on any let's base on any coin. I want to clear. So you will excuse me. Me, I love 15 minutes time frame. That is my that is my trading area time frame. So I'm so used to it, and most of the times I can't help and go and just go back to it all the time. I love checking it within there. Okay, so let's see, with this one bring out. Okay, this is more of a consolidating market structure. The price has been consolidating. I hope it does so within here. Okay. Uh, how far will it go? People accumulating position here. Okay, so let me look at, can we use this? Okay, let's use this. Can we use this? Because I wanted to start from a 1 hour time frame when we have it clear, because a clear support lines or areas, at least two, and then maybe some two resistance lines or area as well. But here I'm only seeing a possibility of about one, which may not be what I want to actually demonstrate. But if I was to base on 15 minutes time frame, then we can go about this. We can use this. Yeah, we can use this. But because I wanted 1 hour, it may not bring out. Let me see. I can find that in UX link. Uh, Let me check that in AVAX. You could use AVAX. Okay. Let's try to use AVAX. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate within here. Let me, this is my area, 1 hour, right? I'll have this area. This is the area. Okay, this area is what I'm going to concentrate in up to here. Okay. Yeah, so the first thing is to identify the different price reaction level and draw our line. So this is where our market price. So we're going to look at the most recent swing high, which is the price reaction level, which in this case is here. I think it is here. Do we all see this? With reference to the current price, this is our price reaction level. We can look at this, we can look at that. Okay, you can go for this, you can go for that. Or if you want the other one, you can go for that. Okay, and then we go for the one that is slightly above, which is this, that, right? Okay. Then we go for support. The first one would be this, if you're using a line. So this will be our first support line. Then we go for support, second support line there. There. Yeah. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is it perfectly drawn? Yeah, I think it is. Then we also said, if at all there is any price reaction level that we're seeing in between here, because now we have that is our resistance 1, that is resistance 2. This is support 1, support 2. So any mini price reaction levels in between, we as well draw a line. In this case, we can identify this. This is the price reaction level based on the wick of the candle. It can be a price reaction level there. Let me put to be a white color. It looks okay. Let's go by that. But this would be the most common, because this is the most common area. Why I'm going for that is because you see there is multiple reaction. There's a reaction at this point, and then there was also the other candle that reacted. So if that, it is almost the same level. That's why I've gone for it. Okay. So I think I have only identified one in that regard. So if that is so it means I can decide on what to do here. I can decide to try to look at it at the very same time frame. If at all I was to make an entry opportunity I would enter at current price at whatever the price is. Enter at current price and take profit. That's 1 point. That's roughly is it something like that, 0.98 roughly. That is something, by the way. It is something, and by the way, you can even set that in Royal Q. But then you'll be using the sell icon. I mean, sell icon, right? The sell button, not setting it as percentage. And it will really deliver. It will give you the 0.98%. Because it depends on how much you had put in. If you put in some good something, like let's say, for example, if it was like 100, that would be $0.98 profit. Or if it is $1,000, entering at current price, and it does hit that 0.98, that would be around $9.8 in profit. So it's something, right? Yeah. So it just depends on how much you set. So then you look out for that eventually for first call. This is the percentage for the first call, and this would be the percentage for the second call, and that would be the percentage third call. And 1.3, 1.6, 0.84. Those would be the respective percentages for the margin call. So you're only giving yourself eventuality that in case this market price, in case this current candle that is forming stops around there and the next trading session represented by the next candle moves from there and begins dropping and it is a bearish candle, you know that it will maybe come around there. So if it does come up to around there, you will have your buy, okay? Your first call. But in case it doesn't really drop, it is okay. There's no loss. There's nothing to lose. In case it doesn't drop, there's nothing to lose. The robot will sell whatever it bought with what it used for that initial entry, okay? So it doesn't cost a thing. Yeah, you're only preparing for eventualities where the price goes against you immediately when you expected it to go in your favor. That is why you establish those margin call drops, so that at least it can continue buying the different price level such that you have a new average price being formed, which is closer to that very same price where the robot will be buying. That will give you an advantage of leaving the market earlier, okay? Other than just sitting to wait for until when the market price will bounce back to your previous initial average price established when the robot bought. So that is the only thing you do. That's why we do that. So here, then that is the first thing. That's how you would go about that. Now, the next entry opportunity would be presented, if at all, if there's a breakout, if the price comes and breaks about this level, okay? And the break of structure would only be ascertained when whatever is going to cause the breakout is actually a green candle. If the green candle opens from below and closes above, you'll call that a break of structure, right? But then to confirm that the break of structure is the true breakout, not a false breakout, the next candle that is going to be formed after this one closing above your resistance line should be a candle that will as well open from above and still close from above this very line. That is when you will give a confirmation that this should be a true breakout, right? There has to be a confirmation candle that opens above and closes above. It will not matter. Sometimes the next candle that is going to be formed may open above and try to dip back below, but then later move and close above. It can still give you a confirmation, right? Yeah, so the best thing you would do is to make entry in the third candle. So what happens here? The first one breaks, a confirmation is made by another, then you make entries from the third candle, all right? Because this one here would have helped you to confirm. This one here showed you a signal that it is a breakout. The second one here confirmed, then you can make entry on the third one. And then if you make entry on the third one, from whatever point you make entry from, you will then measure that percentage all the way to the other next resistance. And that becomes your TP. And then you do the reverse. You measure whatever percentage is from your entry price below down to the different price level so as to establish your margin call drop. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is something. I believe that is something. We cannot exhaust everything, but at least you have a hint now. Is that okay for everyone? Is that okay for everyone? I trust that is something. That has been something. Yeah. So, yeah, if you learned something, let me just see some love heart. Let me just see some love heart. If you learned something, say love heart. Let's show some love. Let's show some love. If you learned something. Uh-huh. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. So yeah, that is something. At least I believe it is gonna create a difference if you try to follow. As I always say, it is about practice. Learn and practice. Okay? Try it out, please. Just try it out. Try it out. Try it out and see if something won't come out. Okay? Yeah. All right. So thank you very much for being part of this morning class. I hope to see you possibly in our next class where we are going to look at how you actually trade in a rising market and then how you also trade in a downtrend market. And in so doing, we shall be looking at the intentions of doing that. Okay? Because our motive is to try to give you a all-round knowledge so that you don't get stuck at certain points when you're trying to do something. At least you should be in position to go through all that when it is actually with ease. So that is the purpose. Okay. All right. So for today, allow me end here, and I see you hopefully, God's willing, inshallah, tomorrow. I think same time. Thank you very much. Over to you, the juniors. I don't know whether you're around. Or Mopiwa. If I told you the word or two you'd like to put forward. But if not, we can end there for now. Bye-bye.